Hello and welcome back to Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion, where today we're going to be tackling the Yondershire region. So we are back with Sylvie again, who was level 17 the last time we saw her. She's now level 21 because she's been doing a little bit of crafting actually, so we've got a couple of boxes to open. What have we got first? We've got the level 20 Brawler box set, so we get a box containing level appropriate gear every 10 levels. What do we get in the level 21? Just a new set of gauntlets. So it's got increased DPS, an extra bit of damage to orc kind, more might, more vitality, and a bit of crit rating. So worth equipping that. Just smash up the old one. Next one's level 30. And the other thing I've got to open is a gift for an adept, which is what we get. Does that go up to level 60 or level 50 these days? I can't remember. Just for the early level gear. So we've got a level 20 box, which is have some bits and pieces. We got a circlet of men, which can't see too much on my Hobbit's hairstyle, just because the hair gets in the way. But a nice little circlet. Some health and morale potions, and again the next one's level 30. And the other thing I was going to do as well before we get started is, since I have 4 free black steel keys that I get from just creating a new character basically from all different sources, I don't know where they come from, we can open 4 Traveller's Stillbound loot boxes, so we'll see if we get anything good out of these. So number 1, a Lapis Mithril Ring of the Wayfarer. It's nowhere near as good as the stuff that I've got. Dwarf Make Helm. There we go, if you want a spiky helmet. Got a bit of a dwarvish design. Nice big spikes at the top there. Ingredient packs, motes of enchantment. Box number 2. I should say as well, it's not a bug where it's saying I'm getting 0 motes of enchantment, because I have hit the currency cap on that on other characters, so I'm technically wasting that, but oh well. One-headed axe, can't use that as a brawler. Not really the nicest cosmetic. Argent Dwarf Make shoulder guards. So again, if you want a spiky dwarf set of shoulders, that might be up your street. Number 3. Hooded Dwarf Make cloak. So that's kind of like one of the ones that you get in Gundabad. Should be able to dye that as well. There's the middle section that dyes, the yellow doesn't dye. Wall Shield of the Wayfarer. There we go. That's actually pretty nice as a shield cosmetic. That's not too bad. I quite like that actually. It's an unusual shield shape as well, kind of like the square diamond shape. And last one. Oh, we've got some blue gear. So we've got some blue reinforced Greaves of the Wayfarer. So Might, Vitality, and Fate is way better than what we have now, so we should equip that. And a vase of coxcomb, which I assume is a type of flower. And a bunch of motes of enchantment that I don't get because they go straight in the bin. What a shame. But yeah, so that's that out of the way. As you can see, before I complain in this stream that I've run out of bag space, I have cleared my bags. So don't mock me when they inevitably fill up later on, because we've got plenty of space at the moment. So hello to everyone who's in the chat. I know we've got Lothshire Hobbit and Jake Ronald. I don't know if anyone else is lurking in the chat, but say hello if you're there. So today we are up in the northwestern parts of the Shire. So I know I was talking about this when we were recording the Shire live streams. I think the last of which was recorded maybe back as, was it in March? Because I was just so busy with all the wedding prep, but I'm now a married man. But I was speculating that it's probably going to be like northwest of the Shire, and it turns out I was correct, because it is going to be this area, kind of northwest. It will have a link to Evendim. We'll have to see when we quest over in that direction, kind of what that connects up to. Maybe like Hope Barton, perhaps. And over into the west, it does indeed connect over to Ered over like in the Kellendim sort of area. So it'll be interesting to see how they connect now, because previously you used to have a portal connecting the two landmasses. So as soon as you left the Shire, you ended up in Ered via a portal. I mean, we did cover that actually in the streams that I was doing for this, so check the previous episodes when we were up in Needlehole. But anyway, you approach the outside of the Yondershire, you will get someone giving you an introductory quest. So unlike a lot of the regions these days where they tend to be auto-bestowed once you reach a certain level, or if you have access to the quest pack or whatever, you can just go find one of these guys. They'll be your vector quests. So my understanding is Yondershire is more for kind of like level 20 to 25-ish, that kind of level range. As I said, Sylvie is now level 21, so she's appropriate leveled for it, although she's not far from 22. So the Yondershire region, if you haven't got access to it at the minute, it is free to VIP subscribers while you're subscribed. Otherwise, you have to purchase it for 995 LOTRO points in game. So we'll speak to
Might I speak with you a moment?
Get our vector quest. So if you're heading west, you may want to rest a while in Yondershire. The bounders there can be found patrolling the western edge of the Shire proper. Talk to Salga Greengrass in the village of Nobottle and Frothard Took in the hamlet of Tyfield. Those bounders will give you a proper Yondershire welcome. So basically just vectoring us to 2 different towns. So I should note I have not played anything in the Yondershire at all, beyond like opening up and having a look at it on the map and going, ooh, shiny map. I know nothing about the region, and not really anything about it lore-wise as well, so it'll be interesting to kind of explore around there. So what's going on in chat? So Lost Shire Hobbit, you managed to get home from work in time and ready to watch the stream. That's good to know. Yeah, in the end, I started usual time. I was thinking of starting maybe a little bit earlier, just because I want to try and finish promptly on time today. Probably no later than 8:30 UK time, but we'll see how much of the region we do. It'll probably be a couple of live streams, I imagine. I imagine there'll probably be less quests than there is in the Shire proper. But we'll see how we go. Hey Dominicus, how are you doing? So there we go. I think the portal used to be literally on this wall here. If I remember correctly, I'll have to go back and check my previous Shire videos. So we're heading up here. There's someone with a quest. Let's turn on floaty names. Bingo Boffin.
Could I take a moment of your time?
I've still yet to do all the Bingo Boffin quests. I know there's a huge quest train involving him. Well, hello there, Silry. This is a pleasant surprise. I'm on my way to Yondershire to welcome my cousin Priska's daughter Angelica to her new home. She's not in her tweens anymore, you see, and has purchased a home in Nobottle. They grow up so fast, don't they? Priska and her other children are planning a housewarming party for Angelica, and I'm certain you would be welcome as well. Some of Priska's brood made the trip a few days ago. They intended to find a suitable present to give their sister. Perhaps don't tell Priska I said that. She dislikes when I refer to her children as a brood. She broods on it, you know. Bingo chuckles to himself. I should remember to write that down. Anyway, if you're in a festive sort of mood, I'm supposed to meet up with my cousins in the centre of Tyfield. It's to the northwest of here in Yondershire. So meet up with them people. So whereabouts are we? So Nobottle is just to the west. So this joins up on a road here. A couple of bounders walking around. This isn't going to be the point. Actually, no, I can. Ha! Because I've actually been crafting, I can actually gather the resource nodes again now. Good times. So you're going to have me running in the complete opposite direction to the quest just to get the nodes now. Another one over there. So yeah, Nobottle seems to be the first place we get sent to. I don't know if you get vectored as well. I don't know why I've suddenly gone really dark in the stream. I'm not that tanned from my holiday. There we go, sights of Yondershire, Nobottle. So kind of like on a little river over here. Let's see if I can brighten myself up. I'm golden, but it's better than nothing. There we go. I'm honestly not bright brown. I have tanned quite nicely though. Where are we going? We're going for the rich iron nodes. We need to go south by the stable master. So it's a bit more mountainous than the Shire. Probably the Shire's kind of was kind of like an analogue of like the home counties in England. Now it's suddenly gone incredibly bright again. I don't know what's going on with this. I'll just leave it alone. So yeah, the home counties kind of around London's. They're kind of like flat, open, nice countryside basically. Although these days they're a bit more built up. So Sour Greengrass. That's one of the people we need to see.
Just a moment.
Hello, welcome to Yondershire.
Might I have a word with you?
Let's remove that deed from the log. So from no bottle to it's not a Mal quest, is it? That's fine. I was getting PTSD there. Again, it's going really dark. Why is it going dark? Brighten up. Doesn't want to brighten up. Now it's brightening up on its own. Let's give it a little bit of brightness and stay halfway then. So yeah, I'm getting a bit of PTSD from all the mail delivering quests and all the pie delivering quests in the Shire. So hopefully it's not going to be quite that bad, and hopefully the quest structure should be a bit more self-contained. Got some nice quest hubs and that kind of stuff. So we'll see how we go. Lost Shire Hobbit. You know there's been new swift routes been opened there. Go from certain places in the Shire to Buckland, and there's a load of swifts within the Shire. I did notice that actually when I was on my way with Sylvie over to Needlehole, because I noticed that I could take a swift from Nickel Delving to Needlehole, but the problem is I think it's reset all the unlocks of all the stable masters, so you have to go and unlock them again. So I had to go and Mithril coin it. So, welcome to the village of No Bottle. I am Salga Greengrass of the Yonder Watch. We here at No Bottle welcome both friends and strangers alike, despite what you may have been told. Farmers, brewers, writers, and all sorts of folk reside here in No Bottle, and we are proud of them all. We even have some guests at the moment, such as that Fredegar Bolger, who is Fatty Bolger, if I'm not mistaken, who was technically the fifth Hobbit that wasn't in the Lord of the Rings films. So it'll be interesting to see what he's involved with. A Hobbit from away on whom I've been keeping my eye. Perhaps you can do the same. While you are here, I recommend exploring our lively village and seeing the sights. The village centre, No Bottle Farm, and the Fox and Fiddle, the finest tavern in all the Yondershire. When you are done, feel free to make the journey to the village of Cleave. Once there, you can meet Rosa, the newest Reeve. She took over for her mother, you see, who was Reeve before. Do not let me talk your ears off. Go to sightseeing. So where's that? Is that further west? No. Or is that just in the middle of nowhere? Or up in Tyrefield? We'll find out. We've got to figure out what order we end up visiting stuff in. So we need to go over here. The village centre is cosy and bustling. Well, it's got 3 people in it. I don't know about bustling.
Hello there.
So unlock a stable master. So where can we go? All sorts of places that are listed under the Shire, but many of these are actually Yondershire regions. But we can get swift travel to like Brockham Borings, Hobbiton. So okay, so they've enabled swifts between the 2 regions as well, which is quite nice. Normally you just have one key region in each of the zones. So I'm getting distracted with the rampant brightness issues that I'm having in on the stream. But yeah, there normally is like one major town that you have to use as your swift travel point to get into that region, and then take small stable travels to the little places elsewhere. So this is the Fox and Fiddle, which, if I remember correctly, I think was one of the places they had a screenshot for before they released the region. Now, I do like the fact they've got absolutely tons of hobbits just doing stuff in here. This is actually pretty cool. Let's go in first person. A bunch of them having their dinner. I don't know, the face on this guy reminds me of someone. I don't know who. Just watching the dancing. Bit of music going on. Conversation by the fireside. Having a bit of a discussion and a drink. The sellers. He's cutting himself a potato by the looks of it. think this one's drunk. Loads of people drinking. Oh dear, I think this one's probably had a bit too much to drink as well. Oh, I love this. There we go. Setting out some food, cooking some food. This is fantastic. I don't know if they've revamped any of the other parts of the Shire as well to do this kind of thing. But presumably they've done this in the way that's not too performance intensive for the game. So they're probably not actual characters, they're just kind of like more like a object or something. Just to keep the resources down. But that is pretty cool. What server am I playing on? I'm playing on Laurelin, which is one of the European servers. It's the one that is more targeted towards roleplay. You don't have to roleplay, but it's just kind of encouraged. So you see a lot of people that will be doing activities in-game, you know, playing as their characters, doing things like music events when they're playing bands and stuff, or just role-playing while they're in Bree and things like that. So it can be quite interesting to see that going on.
Stay and have some tea.
So, Hubo Clayhanger and his Tales of Wonder. Why, hello there. I've not seen you before, which can only mean one thing. You do not live in the village. I knew it. I spend most of my time right here in the Fox and Fiddle, but I've found that news has a way of collecting in taverns better than anywhere else. What brings you to Nobottle? An adventure, you say? Oh ho, I'm something of an adventurer myself. You simply must come back to my home. You can view my collection of books and regale me with tales of your most interesting and exciting adventures. So, literally going to go and tell him stories, apparently. Is that all we needed to do in here? Does the Tavern Keep have anything interesting?
I'm pleased to be of service.
So, he sells a bunch of salves, a couple of bits of alcohol. So we've got some special brews, no bottle brew, Old Foxden. Rich rations. Don't recall seeing that before. Okay, so let's head back outside then. Right, where are we going next? We need to go one to the south and two to the north. But so far, this is actually quite a nice little town, kind of in a bit of a valley here. Loads of willow trees, so it's kind of similar to like the northern parts of the Shire. Kind of north of Frogmorton. What are we looking for over here? There is a quest giver. There is Fatty Bolger. Young Hobbit speaks to a crowd of admirers. Is he telling them stories of before Frodo left?
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
The young hobbit speaks to the small crowd that gathers around him. They say the Bounders protect the bounds. Why is that? Because everything within the bounds is our home. We are hobbits, are we not? We will decide where the bounds are and where the bounds are not. The young hobbit turns his attention to you. You there, you look like you could use some more convincing. Speak to these hobbits gathered around. They will tell you I speak only the truth.
How do you do?
Fredegar is worried about Yondershire, and I believe him. We live in a peaceful life, but lately I've seen more and more troublemakers about. This is true.
Hello there.
I don't have proof, but I think some of the stone walls that mark the old bounds are being moved. One day the old wall was intact, and the next, why, it was missing a stone or two. Someone's up to something. So someone's changing the Shire's borders.
Hello there.
He's such a good storyteller. I could listen to him talk about the bounds all day. Did you know the bounds of the Shire used to be different from the current bounds? I've seen the maps. Hubo Clayhanger has a book containing such maps in his collection. Now, what was the name of that author? It was someone familiar, but I can't remember why. Probably because it was Mr. Bolger himself, I imagine.
How do you do?
Fredegar speaks the truth. I have seen a ruffian or two cross the bounds of the southern Yondershire. We have to do something.
Good day.
Now that you've spoken to these fine hobbits, you must see that I speak the truth. My name is Fredegar, and I have but one concern, the state of the bounds. There has been something upsetting going on in the Shire. I can't say any more than that, but you will have to take my word for it. There are frightening folk about, and Fredegar shivers. The less said of that, the better. But I have also seen a number of ruffians moving about, and we can surely do something about them. Can I ask you to persuade some ruffians to turn town and return to their homes outside the Shire? I know they have taken up residence in the ruins of Ostlagarath to the north, but you might also find them prowling about elsewhere in the Yondershire. So, defeat ruffians. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Might I have a word with you?
We've got post quests. What's his other quest?
Please, stay a moment.
Hint of tampering. Oh, hello! If you have a complaint to file against the quick post, I do ask that you submit it in writing and deliver it to my assistant Ebo. We are aware of a number of issues involving delayed or lost mail that some hobbits have reported over the past few weeks. Rest assured that quick post will get to the bottom of it. With that out of the way, who are you? How can I help you today? You introduce yourself to Postman Grub and ask what's been happening at the quick post. Pleased to meet you, Silry. I'm Walto Grubb, and I've been a postman going on 12 years. I'd say it's my calling if you believe such a thing. As for what's going on with the quick post, I wish I could tell you. Like I said, the mail's been turning up late or not at all, and the folk in Yondershire aren't too happy about it. I don't know if the postmaster's been trying something new or altering routes, but I don't think that's it. Postman Grub looks around and lowers his voice. Between you and me, I think someone's been tampering with the mail. If you have a mind to help me sort this out, meet me inside the quick post. Is that literally inside here? I assume it is. Dominicus, what's your favourite region? I don't know, to be honest. It kind of varies depending on preferences. I haven't really played any of the new kind of smaller regions that they've released in the games. This is the first one of them that I'm playing through in person, so I don't know about that and some of the others. I would say it's probably either the good old traditional Moria, although the revamp kind of nerfed Moria, so I don't like it as much. I like old school Moria, being able to farm your tokens, and it used to take ages. I do enjoy Rohan. The eastern parts of Rohan are quite nice. Prefer East Rohan to West Rohan. Can't quite put my finger on why. I know the war steeds are kind of a bit of a pain in the backside. Wasn't really much of a fan of the Gondor stuff. Minas Tirith looks nice. It's a pain to quest in. Mordor's pretty bland. Some of the stuff that's up in like Northern Mirkwood and that, they're pretty nice regions visually. But in terms of quest wise, they're all right. They're not bad. So if I had to pick, it would probably be somewhere between Moria and Rohan. One of the two. Right. Postman quests and 2 things to avoid from what you saw on the LOTRO wiki. And you agree you hate Postman quests as well? Yeah, everyone hates Postman quests. I swear they did it deliberately just to troll us. But it's interesting we can actually kind of go in the post office and kind of see all their inner workings.
Just a moment.
I must apologise for the mess, Sylvie. You see, we're a bit backed up here in Nobottle with letters and parcels due to be delivered to the Hithershire. Not the Yondershire. Or is that a typo? Maybe they called it Hithershire and they renamed it? Or are they referring to even further parts? Most folks down in Mickle-Delving Hobbiton and the like just call it the Shire, but it seems a bit odd to me, but I digress. So I don't know whether that's a typo. Maybe they changed it from Hithershire to Yondershire and they didn't change the quest text. We have a few postmen come up from the Hithershire with small deliveries. Okay, maybe it is somewhere else. But none of them are taking as much as they ought to deliver back to the rest of the Shire. Or is what they call the Hithershire the Shire proper? Perhaps. It's almost like they're trying to slow the whole thing down. For goodness sake, we've had a parcel due for stock sitting here for over a month. Ebo received a delivery from the quick post of Waymeat this morning, and as usual, it was very light. Unfortunately, after I inspected the letters and parcels, I only became more suspicious that someone's deliberately been tampering with the mail. Why don't you head up front and take a look at them, Silry? I'm curious to know what you make of the condition. Are they inside? Yeah, they are. So it appears this envelope was unsealed and resealed with some kind of sap. Someone's been trying to nick all the money in the gift cards, haven't they? It's been marked with a curious symbol in ink. It's unsealed and its lid sits loosely atop it. Although this letter shows no signs of tampering, it's wrinkled and stained by tea. Someone spilt their tea on it. Parcel's knots appear to be hastily tied and it bears a curious symbol in ink. Okay, so we've got that symbol more than once then. It appears this envelope was unsealed and resealed with a wax of a different colour. So, is it the postman or is it someone more suspicious?
Is there something I can do for you?
What do you think, Sylvie? What did you make of those letters and parcels? Are my concerns ill-founded? You tell Postman Grubb that unless many, many hobbits have coincidentally forgotten to add postscripts until after sealing their letters, you must conclude that there are obvious signs of tampering on all the recent deliveries that at the quick post in Nobottle. I knew it.
Please, stay a moment.
So let's remove these from the quest tracker. So we're going to have a new reputation region, which is the Yonder Watch. So we will get some reputation with them. I don't know what level that goes up to. I'd imagine probably Kindred, but we'll see. Quest in Yondershire goes up to 50 as well. I knew it, Silry. If Postmaster Proudfoot had caught wind of this, he'd have already put a stop to it. After all the work he's put in to maintain the good reputation of the quick post, there's no chance he'd let some sort of conspiracy drag it into the mud. I have to inform the postmaster at once. Postman Grubb takes out a blank piece of parchment and inks a quill. He begins writing, periodically glancing to his ledger. Now, Silry, I hope you don't mind, but I need you to deliver this to Postmaster Proudfoot in Mickle Delving. In case something should happen to this letter, commit it to your memory that Nobottle has received 33 pieces of mail from the Hithershire in the past month. So yeah, it seems like the Hithershire is what they call the proper Shire. The postmaster will have his own records on hand, and I would urge him to compare them against my own. Postman Grubb finishes writing, seals the letter, and hands it to you. I'm counting on you, Silry. There is something afoot in the Shire. So we're going to need to go briefly back to Mickle Delving to hand those in. So where are the other two quests got to go? Tyfield and Longcleave. Well, Tyfield's not far. Longcleave's up north. And we want to do one of them now. Novatal to Tyfield.
Please, stay a moment.
One more thing, if you prefer to help me get a satchel of this mail delivered to Postman Heartclover in Tyfield, I will see to it you are properly compensated. If you've never been to Tyfield, simply follow the road west and you'll pass through the centre of the village. Postman Heartclover is at the quick post just along the road in Tyfield. If you find yourself at the Elbows Blend, you've gone too far. Don't delay, avoid nosy hobbits, and do inform Postman Heartclover that if another hobbit attempts to pay their postage with hemp, I will be issuing a complaint to the postmaster. I assume we're talking about the rope making variety of hemp, and not the smoking variety of hemp. Right, picking this up then, and there is one to the northeast that I can see on there. Let's go cross country and see what sights we can see as we go cross country then. So everyone in chat, if you haven't said hello, say hello. But otherwise, how are you all doing? And what are you, if you're not in LOTRO at the minute, what are you up to in LOTRO when you are playing? So these creatures here are likely to attack me on sight. The wolves are inevitably hostile. Shrews, they're yellow bars, so they were only attacked if provoked. Right, there's a hobbit down there on the road. Christ, there's oh, for God's sake, I thought I'd found the quest then somehow. There's loads of hobbits on the road there. This farm primarily grows barley for Noble's famous brew. Thieving shrew for essence to attack, that's fine. So we've got a quest here. There is another person on the road. So let's go south. Oh my god, they're everywhere! Look at them on the minimap. There's 3 of them. We go north then. This is like delivering the post hard mode. Like 4 of them on the map at the same time. Maybe if we stick near the river then, that might be the safer option. Look at them, there's like 3 of them all gathered around there. Another one up here on the road. Remember, we can't go swimming in the water. We can walk across shallow water, but if it triggers our swimming animation, we will automatically drop the package. There's tons of them. They're everywhere. They've made this exceptionally hard to deliver post. Are they nosy hobbits? No, they're bounders. Why have we got to avoid the bounders? They're deliberately inspecting the post for some reason. Look at all these ore nodes that I can't actually pick up. Right, so this is Tyrefield. So the river basin seems to be the best place then to go for this. There is a nosy hobbit up ahead. Is it this quest? Yeah. So this is the hobbit I need to see. I think that's a nosy hobbit over there walking along. Hopefully I'm not too close. There we go. Ding! Level 22. So we've done that. We can go back to town. Don't want to be picking up any of these quests here. We'll stick to the proper quest flow and see how we do. So the other thing I should probably do is spend some trait points. So I would only have got these on the I think they're on the odd level numbers rather than the even level numbers. So I wouldn't have got one for 22, but I have a couple from previously that I haven't actually spent. So previously we put 5 points in setup damage. So our setup skills, they're our basic bare bones skills just for building up our metal. And then I put 1 point into first strike, which gives me an opening move which has quite a bit of damage. And a point in dexterous hook training, which increases the finisher skill damage, which is some of our metal using skills. Because yeah, the might that I get from the second tier trait is not great. They don't scale too well. Early they might seem like a lot, but later they're not really worth it. Critical chance with skills is certainly nice to have. So there's nothing wrong with getting those as well. But I think I'm just going to go with the raw damage at the minute, because our critical hit chance at low levels is going to be pretty low and not existent, so I'd rather take the raw damage increase rather than the possibility that I might crit and do bonus damage. But we definitely want that later, so I'll put 2 more points in that, which is 9 points spent. So we spend our 10th point in this tree, and then we'll unlock the 3rd tier items, so we'll see if any of those are good later on. So heading eastward. Lost-Shire Hobbits. Cicero's is now at the Stone Deans, so West Rohan. Your Brawler is in the Flaming Deeps of Moria. And your champion is back and in Everswim, and that's your main 3. So yeah, I can't really remember too much about the Stone Deans questing. Should probably pick up this quest actually while we're here. Flaming Deeps and all of Moria really I've got fond memories of, because that I've said it many times, no doubt. Moria was the end game when I started playing the game, so original Moria end game at level 60, and having to grind out all the instances, that's kind of like good times. Good memories for me, even though I had to grind them forever to get all the necessary bits of gear I needed. From field to pint. Let's have a quick drink. Hello there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be the sort who enjoys a good brew. I'm under attack. What's going on? It's a Nika Breaker. Punch it with some skills. You're in good company here, friend. Now let me ask you a question. Have you ever fancied brewing up a good beer yourself? I find if you engage in the process, you'll have a greater appreciation for every bottle you enjoy. And wouldn't that be quite a nice reward? I'll be happy to teach you the way of it, for I am Bloder? Let's go with Blodder. Blodder Hop Blossom, the head brewmaster of No Bottle, and mine is the finest beer in the West Farthing. Don't let anyone tell you differently. This may be one of the younger settlements in the Shire, as things are reckoned, but No Bottle is still centuries old by now. Plenty of time for us to master brewing. Now listen to the many steps of brewing a beer of which you can be proud. So we've got some gear. So we've got a light armour, medium armour and heavy armour boots, I think. We get some copper bounders coins, which are going to be the local reputation currency, and obviously reputation with the Yonderwatch. So we've got to collect barley from the fields. So over here. So just grab loads of these. The local Sackville Baggins bounders, basically bullies. Ah, okay, so that makes sense then. So they're corrupt policemen, and there seems to be a lot of them as well. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's more than we need. And 10. I've got to malt the barley. Okay. Put it in a barrel. Is that lagging? There we go. Malted the barley. Mashed the barley. Okay, where do we mash the barley? Is it over this side? Barley masher. There we are. Boil the brew. Jesus Christ. We're doing all the things today. Ferments the brew. What's next? Pour the brew? Bottle the brew? Yeah, bottle the brew. Collect empty bottles from the farm and from the Fox and Fiddle Inn. But why should there be bottles in a town called No Bottle? That's what I want to know. How did it get its name? Maybe for environmental reasons they've decided they don't want to use bottles. Or maybe it's an alcohol policy that the bounders have enacted. You're not allowed to be seen carrying your bottles of beer around town. Get in trouble. So it looks like we've only got 5 here. And then the rest we seem like we might need to go to town and pick up some refills. So let's head back over. So I've got an insect slayer in the Yondershire. So Nika Breakers will count for that. Where are we going? I don't know if I actually spoke to the stable master as well. Probably should do that. No, I did. There we go. Right. Oh, there's some empty bottles in town. This is the Fox and Fiddle, isn't it? Let's go back inside. Something else I noticed as well, which I actually mentioned the last time we were in here. Did like they've got a pretty funky like pub sign as well with a fox playing a fiddle, which is pretty cool. Nice touch. I wonder if you can get that as a housing decoration. Would be pretty cool. Are we getting some lag? Yeah. Getting a little bit of lag in this region. I'm interacting with it. Look, hands free. At some point. There we go. What's going on? Reduced awareness, yeah. So the server's getting a bit busy for some reason. Fill empty bottles. So presumably we've got to go back to the farm for that. Quick post of Yondershire. Okay, so there's only 7 routes, so it's not 12. And one hopes that with the map, they are a bit smaller routes, but we'll see. At the very least, I'm doing it for the first time. It's not like I've done this millions of times and it's got to be a pain in the backside. But the amount of bounders that we have to avoid is is absolutely crazy. So let's go back to the brewing farm then. So the other quest we've got is to go to Cleave. We don't really want to go there just yet. But I think with the small level range involved, if it's level like 20 to 25, it doesn't really matter too much what order you do the towns in, because you'll be plus or minus the right kind of level anyway. So do 4 of these. Talk to the Brewmaster. We haven't washed the bottles, actually. Second hand.
Hello there.
Now that's a beer of which you can be proud. Delightful. Note the sense of accomplishment you now feel, and let it buoy your steps as you walk around Yondershire. Brewmaster Blossom grins at you. You'll have some walking to do, friend. I know, with that amount of post I'm delivering. You can't keep this brew all to yourself. Oh no, not deliver the beer as well now. You need to get it into the hands of our patrons. Visit every drinking establishment in the Yondershire and bring the brew to our waiting customers. You'll see a lot of happy faces as you make these deliveries. So we've got the Brimful Quiver, the Roaring Bull, the Fox and Fiddle, the Elbows Bend, an Angry Knickerbocker that is spawning... Oh, it's a shrew this time, that spawns too close to the bloody quest giver. Receive a token of gratitude from each tavern keep. Okay, so more questing. We've got to defeat many beasts in the Yondershire, so shrews count as a beast. That's good to know. So we'll remove that. I'll gather all these iron nodes. I'll tell you something else that I'll turn on as well. If I can figure out where it is. Is it in social options? No. Can't be under combat. Might be under UI settings. Maybe it is. Yeah, UI settings. Under miscellaneous. We tick on always loot all. Then anytime we open a container, so whether that container's ore or wood or whatever node, or if it's a chest or anything like that, automatically we'll pick it up and put it straight in our bags. So you don't have to say okay every time, which is handy. I've been using that a lot more on all my characters, because I've given up checking what goes into my bags. Everything goes into my bags anyway. So let us go to Mickle Delving. Annoyingly, I don't have a map set there, so we'll have to use the Stable Master. We'll go over to Mickle Delving, speak to the postmaster over there, tell him what's going on, and see what he wants us to do next.
Hello there.
Good to know. There's a reputation person there in the middle of town. Let's just jump off of that horse. Right, so Postman Grub should be over near the town hall, I'd imagine. Yeah. So if we make our way over here.
How rude!
Hello there, what's this now? You hand Postman Grub's letter to Postmaster Proudfoot. He unseals it, begins reading, and after a long moment his eyes widen. Well, I don't like the sound of this at all. To my knowledge, the Quick Post has not altered our service to Nobottle, or Yondershire for that matter, and we certainly would not make a habit of failing to make deliveries entirely. To his credit, Walter has provided a detailed record of the comings and goings at the Quick Post in Nobottle. One of my associates, Onyx Nevercott, has taken to maintaining the ledger, and I assure you our records are current and accurate. A careful comparison between Walter's records and the ledger should tell us everything we need to know. You'll find Onyx behind the counter inside the Quick Post. Tell her to bring out the ledger and see if everything is in everything's in order. So we can go inside here. I don't think we could go in here before. So this is all new. Ooh, fancy. Some safe boxes, little post boxes. I like it. Nice. Oh, we can go downstairs. Oh, no, I can't go downstairs. There's a rope. Damn it. I was going to go exploring.
Is there something
Associate
I can do for
Postman. Oh, hello. What brings you to the quick post today? You introduce yourself and tell Onyx that Postmaster Proudfoot has asked to see the ledger to compare it to Postman Grubb's records. Oh dear me, has some sort of mistake been made? Just a moment. Onyx leans down, produces a heavy ledger from under the counter, and examines its spine. After a moment, Onyx sets it down on the counter with a muffled thud. Here you go, Silry. Take all the time you need. That's a big book. Gonna slowly read it. According to the ledger, 58 letters and parcels were bound to the Yondershire in the past month.
Is there something I can do for you?
A discrepancy? I can't believe such a thing happened on my watch. Onyx pauses for a moment and composes herself. 58 pieces of mail sent out, but only 33 actually making it to the Yondershire? That doesn't make any sense. And besides, no one's ever lost that much on their routes. Not since the days of Ned Hartfoot. Hartfoot, even. Here, Silry, show the ledger to the postmaster and see what he makes of it. If there's trouble with the quick post, it's not happening here in Mickledelving. Getting lost in transit.
Well,
You've brought the ledger.
Folk.
Were you able to find what you were looking for? You tell Postmaster Proudfoot that you found clear discrepancies between the records of Mickledelving and Nobottle. He shakes his head solemnly. I'll have to thank Miss Nethercott for keeping such neat records. To be quite honest, that has never been a strength of mine. If it's all the same to you, I'd still like to examine it myself. You hand the ledger to Postmaster Proudfoot. He leads through it, pausing in a few places and tracing along the page with his finger. After a short while, he snaps the ledger shut. It's as you said, Silry, a discrepancy of 25 pieces of mail.
Could I take a moment of your time?
If the evidence of tampering that Postman Grubb discovered wasn't bad enough, we now know for certain that someone is interfering with the quick post. However, if these would-be conspirators don't know they've been found out, we can use that to our advantage. Firstly, we must safeguard the mail due to be delivered to Yondershire. After Onyx and the others sort it here in Mickledelving, it is sent to Waymeet for any final preparations, and then carried along the usual route to Nobottle. Postman Twofoot oversees the quick post at Waymeet. You'll need to speak with him and ensure that any mail for the Yondershire is returned to my care here in Mickledelving. Until this issue is sorted out, I don't want to take any chances. Next, I'd like to conduct a test of the route to Nobottle. Something is going wrong between Waymeet and Nobottle. I want to know what it is. But I'd rather not risk someone's mail for the test. With a look of sudden inspiration on his face, Postmaster Proudfoot produces a piece of parchment from his pocket. He begins scrawling a lengthy letter. After a long moment, he seals the letter and crumples it gently in his hands. Here, Silry, I've written an exhaustive account of the weather over the course of the past week and a ranking of my favourite pies in the Shire. Perfectly innocent, I would think. I've not signed it, of course. I don't want them knowing I've found out if something goes awry. When you arrive at Waymeet, ask Postman Twofoot to provide you a satchel. Oh no. You'll run the route to Nobottle yourself, and if you meet with any resistance along the way, return to me at once. Hurry now. The quick post is depending on you. I've got to do an entire run all the way up to Yondershire. Bonus post quests. No! It's my worst nightmare. Okay, so let's head to Waymeet then. So one of the other things I need to cover is since level 17, Silry's actually gained access to a few new skills which we haven't actually looked at yet. So all these ones on this top row we haven't looked at. So what do we got then? Follow me. Brawlers have been known to inspire foolhardy acts of bravery in their comrades, mostly by charging headlessly into a fray and dragging their allies along with them against their better judgment. So it's an attack speed buff, so that makes us attack quicker. Effects applied to the entire fellowship within 10 meters. So minus 20% attack duration for 30 seconds. That's pretty nice then as a fellowship buff. So if you're having a big boss fight and you just want to spam your attacks, get your attacks going faster, the duration between your attacks to be quicker. That's quite nice. So it's a 30-second duration on a 1-minute cooldown. So half the time you can have an attack duration decrease. So presumably if you had two brawlers in your group, you can take it turns activating this buff on cooldown and keep that up permanently, which would be quite nice. But yeah, since that's just a buff, we'll keep it up. You know, up on one of the top rows. Don't care about share the roses, they can go. Just sits away from our main combat skills.
Is there something I can do for you?
A good day to you. May I help you with something? You tell Postman Twofoot that the Postmaster Proudfoot has requested that the satchels of mail bound for Yondershire be returned at once to the quick post in Mickle Delving. You also inform him that the Postmaster has asked you to conduct a test of the route from Waymeet to Nobottle. Now I see, is there something miss with that route in particular? For what it's worth, the satchels for Yondershire haven't been sent out for delivery yet. My assistant Norbert was handling them today, and last I saw, he was still wandering about Waymeet. If I had to guess, he's probably left the satchels about to collect any last-minute letters and parcels. I've told him time and time again he should keep an eye out on the satchels, but he's always off looking at pipeweed fields or busy chatting with nosy folk. As for the postmaster's test, it will take a little shuffling, but I think I can find an empty satchel around here for you. If you'd go collect those satchels and tell Norbert to bring them to Mickle Delving without delay, I can have it sorted out by the time you're back. So collect the satchels of mail bound for Yondershire at Waymeet. There's one. So grab that. I mean, they can't really be bound for anywhere if they're just lying on a rock in the middle of nowhere, but hey ho. There's the second one. I mean, it's literally stood next to someone dodgy. Dropped something, did you? You ought to be more careful. Yes. Deliver the satchels to Norbert Hogg at Waymeet and relay Postman Twofoot's orders. So this is him over here. What's this? The postmaster wants to see the mail for Yondershire. There we go. 2 bags for you. Back over here.
Hello.
You found Norbert and sent him back to Mickle Delving with the satchels. Very good. Norbert's a good worker. He just needs the occasional kick to keep him on task. I do wish he'd taken interest in something besides pipeweed, though. It's as if he thinks a hobbit can only have one hobby. Appearing to realise he has lost his own train of thought, Postman Twofoot gestures towards the table outside the quick post at Waymeet. I've emptied out a satchel for you like the postmaster asked. Feel free to use it. So we'll grab that. Talk to the postman.
What do you need?
It's been a while since I've made the trip to Nobottle myself, but it's a nice route. It's a nice town too. Truth be told, I've spent more than a few nights and even a few mornings in the Fox and Fiddle. Postman Twofoot finally appears to notice that you have finished preparing the satchel for the Yondershire. All settled then? Just the one letter? I suppose if it's just a test, that's for the best.
Please, stay a moment.
And it is going to be a proper running quest. If Postmaster Proudfoot wants you to run the usual route to Nobottle, you have to follow the road north through the bog to Needlehole and then continue northwest to the Rushot Gate. Once you pass through the gate, you'll be on the road to Nobottle. Postman Grubb is always about at the quick post, so it should be easy to spot. Alright, you've already met. It's a bit of a journey, but it's a simple enough route. And keep an eye out for nosy hobbits. Best of luck to you, COE. I hope the Postmaster is able to sort this out. Off we go then. Now, I don't know if they've added more nosy hobbits around Waymeet, but I can already see 2 on the map. So let's just go up this hill, go a bit wide. And we'll stay off the main road as we head north. So it might even be able to take a little bit of a shortcut. But I don't want to be swimming through really deep bits of the bog, because that would be pretty crappy. So what other skills have we got then? We've got Ignore Pain. Unwilling to acknowledge even debilitating injuries, brawlers often focus on developing the willpower to fight through normally insurmountable pain. It removes fears, diseases, poisons, and wounds from yourself. It will remove one of them, and it will take 20 seconds to come off cooldown. So every 20 seconds you can remove one. So every class has one of those skills. The thing that kind of irritates me, particularly with the last two skills we've covered, is that they're reusing skill icons. So if I see that skill icon, so this one, follow me, is Hunters Find the Path, and this one, Ignore Pain, is Burglars. The evade buff one. I can't remember what it's called these days. But when I see both of them, I automatically know what they are. But on this class, it means something different. So it would be nice if they had their own dedicated icons rather than reusing the existing one, because they do different things to what they did originally as well. So this is not a run speed buff. This is not an evade buff. So it kind of gets a little bit confusing. All these are nodes, and I can't pick them up. Sad times. But again, it's a non-combat one. I'll keep it off to the side for now. Just keeping an eye on the road, because I'm sure we're going to have some extra nosy hobbits on the way to town over here. Next one, we have Helm's Hammer. So this is a combat melee skill. Calling upon the spirit of Helm Hammerhand, you infuse your blow to admonish the enemy's corruption. So it's a corruption removal skill, which is pretty odd this early in the game, because normally the corruptions don't really come into effect until around about Moria. But it does do a pretty hefty bit of damage, actually. So how does that compare with other skills at the minute? So the other skills kind of cap out about 850 at the upper end. This is 1100, so this is a very nice damaging skill. It counts as a finisher, so it's benefiting from my finisher damage buffs. So it removes one corruption, one tier up to 3 different corruption effects. Okay, so it nerfs multiple. 15-second cooldown, so that's not too bad. I hope there's no nosy hobbits in town. But it's certainly good to put that into our damage rotation, even if we're not trying to remove corruptions. So we'll stick that bunch of everything along nicely by one. Just paying double attention that I'm not going to. I think I'm going to need to run faster. Actually, we're on half already. Keepy, all of them were made earlier, corruption removers, because of missions unlocking at 20. Okay, fair enough. Did not know that. But even without having to worry about corruption removal, that's a nice chunk of damage. I feel like I should have popped a run speed buff before we did this. This is going to be fairly tight. So what is the next skill we've got here? Oh, there's someone with equestering. He's a friendly bounder. Okay, I'm sure that was meant to happen because he had a equestring on him.
Is there something I can do for you?
Haven't you heard, Postman? There's new rules. By order of the Chief Sheriff, all mail is subject to inspection prior to delivery, especially to the Yondershire. Hand that satchel over. I'll decide if it's worth the Chief's time. Now, let's see here. With a harumph, Bounder Dogberry slips the letter into his pocket and takes the satchel.
Hello.
Like I expected, the Chief hasn't seen to this one yet. No mark, no delivery. Just one letter, though. I might as well bring it back to the Chief, even if it's just a bunch of prattle. Bounder Dogberry furrows his brow and a sneer forms at the corner of his mouth. Don't you worry, I'll make sure the quick post gets their satchel back. Lag. So, talk to Postmaster Proudfoot and Mickle Delving. If you know what's good for you, you'll keep this out of the Chief's business. Get lost. So, mount back up. So, Fulgurant Strike. The strike catches the enemy unawares, leaving them breathless and interrupting complex skills and maneuvers. So, it's an interruption skill. Does kind of average to slightly above average damage. But it can interrupt the enemy. It's on a 30-second cooldown though, so you need to make sure that you only use that when you need to. So we'll stick that on the second bar because it's a niche skill for if we need to interrupt someone. So a boss doing a powerful attack or some sort of casting class that's about to cast some dangerous spell. Got two more. So we've got Slip 3. Well versed in the grappler's tricks, brawlers can quickly slip out of holds, traps and other attempts to constrain them. Recover from being dazed, stunned or knocked down, so it removes any type of stun effect.
How do you do?
So again, every class has got one of these. They tend to be on a bit of a longer cooldown though, so like even 1 or 2 minutes. So this is 1 minute, so if you're having a particularly important fight, maybe you're about to die because you've been stunned at the worst possible time, quickly pop that skill just to break free of your stun, and then pop a health potion or something. And we've got one more skill we need to look at, but let's just speak to the Postmaster first then.
It's been a foul day, it has.
You're back sooner than I expected, Silry. What happened? You tell Postmaster Proudfoot about the bounder you encountered at the Rushot Gate. You inform him that someone titled the Chief Sheriff has been issuing new orders to the bounders demanding inspection of the mail and interfering with the quick post. Chief Sheriff? Why, there's no such thing. I'd sooner call myself Lord of the Post. There's a first sheriff, yes, but he's never been the sort for more rules. In fact, he spends most of his time puttering about in the town hall as far as I can tell. No, this is some upstart meddling in things he knows nothing about. Dogberry, was it? You tell the mayor what the bounder said to you and have him set things straight for the quick post.
Hello there.
Yes, may I help you with something? You inform Mayor Will Whitford of the Postmaster Proudfoot's concerns and of the so-called Chief Sheriff interfering with the quick post. You tell him that Postmaster has insisted that service to the Yondershire be restored and free of any lawful inspections. Why, there's no such title. The Postmaster said that too, did he? I wonder if he has anything to do with that upstart in Hobbiton. A terrible nuisance, that one. If you would allow me a moment to think, I believe I can resolve this matter to the satisfaction of the Postmaster.
Stay and have some tea.
I have made up my mind, Silry. I'd like you to inform Postmaster Proudfoot that I'm officially authorising him to alter the route to Nobottle. It is my recommendation that the new route ought to pass through Little Delving into the Yondershire, even though I expect the folk dwelling there to give me an earful for it. Nevertheless, it's like my grandfather used to say, if trouble is standing in your way, better to walk around it. As for that so-called Chief Sheriff, let us hope this is the last we hear of him. I certainly do. So back over to the Postmaster.
Can't a body be left alone?
What did the Mayor have to say, Silry? You tell Postmaster Proudfoot that Mayor Will Whitford has authorised him to alter the route to Nobottle in an effort to undermine the plans of the would-be Chief Sheriff and safeguard the quick post. We inform him that the new route is to pass through Little Delving into the Yondershire and continue northward until Nobottle. It isn't perfect, but if it means the mail will reach Yondershire, it'll have to do. However, unless the Mayor is prepared to act against this upstart, I fear it will not be enough. For my part, I'll be keeping a much closer eye on the goings at the Quick Post. As you know, the Quick Post has many offices across the Shire. Who can say that Chief hasn't already found useful friends in some of them? That is a matter for me to resolve, Silwy. As for you, would have you oversee the very first run of the new route to Nobottle. I believe Onyx has been preparing the satchels inside the Quick Post, so just speak to her when you're ready to set out. Can we actually go through there? When there's a route to Mickle Delving? Don't know. We'll soon find out.
Hello.
Hello, Sylvie. How are you? What can I help you with? You ask Onyx Nethercott if the satchels for Yondershire are prepared and inform her that the Postmaster has asked you to run a new route to Nobottle on behalf of the Quick Post. Oh, so that's what all that business was about. I overheard you talking to the postmaster. I didn't mean to, of course. It's just that these windows are awfully thin. While you were talking to the mayor, I put all the mail for Yondershire into a bigger satchel and set it just outside on the table beside the postmaster. With so many things pulling at his attention today, Hugo must not have seen me. It's all there, though, and ready to be delivered. Don't let me keep you, Silvery. The folk of the Yondershire have waited long enough for their mail. So, pick that up. Deliver the satchel to Postman Grubb in Nobattle by way of Little Delving. So, let's keep an eye out for any nosy hobbits. Looking good so far. So, let's see if we can actually get through that. I didn't think you could get into the Yondershire via Mickle Delving, but this was Delving even. No, you're an okay bounder. This is the one post route that I never used to mind in the Shire, just because it's incredibly short. Wait, am I supposed to go north here? Or can I go up there, maybe, around the back? Maybe that's what I should have done. Maybe up this path here and up into the hills over that way. I think this all seems to be new, because I think that used to be another cliff edge there. This looks promising though. With that Nikabrika. So we're now entering the Yondershire. So this puts us down at near Foxton Heath then. So we can go up to here and go north to Nobattle. But again, no doubt there's going to be an absolute ton of bounders that want to interrupt us. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get across some of these bridges. Bunch of ruffians. So this should be nice and shallow for me to walk across, but I'll jump anyway. So we're going north of here. This should take us all the way to Foxton, or whatever the town is. Again, like a hilly area, not the kind of a bit more sparsely populated, these hills. It's kind of like the transition between Breeland and the Lone Lands. Just with a lot more bushes around. Okay, so there's a stabemaster literally just in the middle of nowhere then. Oh, that looked a bit deep there. East Anglian says, "This is my childhood game. I love it so much." With a name like that, though, I'd have to ask you, which part of East Anglia are you from? Being an Essexman myself. I'm going for the all nodes. I can't pick up the all nodes. Let's go down. Like I said, greetings and salutations. Hello to yourself. I don't know how many of you guys in the chat have actually played through Yondershire at the minute, or if you're coming here to just have a peek yourselves. It's been interesting so far. There's been a lot of post quests though. If you've only just joined the chat, we've just been off to Mickle Delving to run some posts from Mickle Delving all the way to the Yondershire. Alright, there we go then.
Is there something I can do for you?
My goodness, Silly, is that all the mail out of the Hithershire? Postman Grubb takes the satchel, sets it down on his table and peers into it. After a moment, a smile spreads across his face. Well, this'll keep me busy for days. I cannot thank you enough, Silry, but tell me, were you and the postmaster able to unmask the culprit behind the tampering and the delays? What happened? You tell Postman Grubb of the self-styled chief sheriff who has been gathering support in the Shire and employing some of the bounders to unlawfully confiscate the mail. You tell the postman that Mayor Will Whitfoot has drawn up a new route to Nobertal by way of Little Delving, and that service to Yondershire has been restored. In addition, you inform him that Postmaster Proudfoot intends to remain vigilant against further attempts to disrupt the quick post. From all the talk I've heard around Nobertal, it seems like that LOTRO fellow out of Hobbiton. I don't think he's got the mind for a plot like that, though. I must thank you again, Silry. The quick post owes you a great debt. So I can get a shiny earring. Now, bearing in mind I've got some earrings from some loot boxes. But they are level 10 earrings. So this earring is pretty good for level 20. 20 might, 12 vitality, 11 fate, 62 crit. Or if you wanted an agility based one, or a tactical mastery based one. So they're pretty good actually. Both those earrings are the same. I probably will actually equip that.
Might I have a word with you?
So he's got the post to go to Cleave. We don't want to go to Cleave just yet, but whenever we do, we should probably take that with us. Like I said, you haven't got Yondershire yet. You need to make some alts to grind up some turbine points. So yeah, 995 points if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why this quest ring keeps disappearing on the tracker. So we've got to deliver some brews to the innkeep and collect a token of gratitude, which seems to involve drinking a beer. I thought it was a literal token. I don't know why it's incredibly laggy in here. Hello, I see Brewmaster Brawler Hot Blossom has put you to work. It's been a while since she had to make a delivery herself. Have a drink before you leave. No sense catching a batch bowl and not having a taste. Have a brew on the house before you head out. So if you haven't seen this yet, people in chat, go back to the start of the stream and have a look at how awesome this tavern is with the amount of Hobbit patrons that are just around dancing and eating and all kinds of stuff like that. Pretty funky. I'm now slightly drunk. I'm not quite making weird Hobbit lass drunken sounds. So, is that it then? What else do we do? Someone else is over here. One of these. I think this is the Hobbit that wanted me to tell him his my stories. Come in, make yourself at home while I finish preparing some tea for us. Oh my goodness, I've got to read all your books. So I've got to peruse Hugo Clayhanger's books. The Wonders of Wellstones by Hugo Clayhanger. This book seems to have been started some time ago but remains unfinished. A Bounder's Life for Me by Banderbus Took. This book is in an old chronicle of Bounder tales, apparently written by Brawler himself. High Stalks, The History of Pipeweed by Ludo Grubb. This book would be a fine read for anyone looking to grow pipeweed. The Perfect Sword, How to Tend Your Yard by Hamfast Gamgee. So that's Sam's dad. This old book appears to be a guide for gardening for beginners. Out of the Bounds, Maps of the Shire proper and the Yondershire by Fredegar Bolger. This book contains many maps of the Shire with boundary markings and other annotations. It could be useful to consult then if he's been moving the boundaries. There we go, tea's ready.
How do you do?
Oh ho, you found my book. Yes, it's true. I'm writing a book about the history of the Wellstones. They are ruins found in the Yondershire. Some called the ruins Bar Faroth. Have you visited them?
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
I must confess something to you, friend. This feels silly of me to say anything to someone who has adventured far and wide, but I have never actually been to the Wellstones. I've been writing mainly about the accounts of others who have seen them. You see, I have not actually set one foot outside of Nobottle in my entire life. My mother took a trip to the Shire proper a few months before I was born, but I don't believe that counts. And so my book remains incomplete. I need more information. I need eyewitness accounts. Can you go to the Wellstones and look for any relics that you might find? I will also make use of any etchings you can provide. That will be most helpful. Remember, the ruins in question go by 2 names, so you are looking for either the Wellstones or Balthelion. So that cup of tea has not sobered me up from my drunkenness. There we go, mounted up. And so we kind of really need to go to Tyfield again. But I'm feeling like maybe we should run the post up to Longcleave and then get the stable master across. Where was he? He was over here somewhere. Was he upstairs? Or over the back or something? There he is.
Can I take a moment of your time?
Right, so no bottle to Longcleave. So I think this should be number 2 out of 7, not including all the bonus ones we've just had to do. For years now, I have done my duty as a postman to the best of my ability, but as of late, I have found it quite overwhelming. It pains me to ask, but would you help me handle this workload? I've many deliveries to make today, and I don't know if I can finish them all before sundown. Yes, before sundown. The moon high in the night sky.
Might I speak with you a moment?
And what would folk think of the quick post then? If you'd help me to get some of this mail delivered to Longcleave, I will see to it that you are properly compensated, provided, of course, that the task is done to the standards of the quick post. No stopping to chat with nosy folk, and no swimming, at least not while you're holding one of the satchels. Also, I'm told that some queer bounders have been coming out of the Hithershire and bothering our folk. They seem an unsavoury lot, and if I were you, I'd avoid them. The mayor or the first sheriff ought to have a word with him of it, them, I think. Nothing doing with attitudes like that. If you've never been to Longcleave, all you need to do is follow the road north. Once you pass under the stone arch into Longcleave, you'll find Postman Northtook at the quick post to the east of the road. You can't miss him. Best get at it. So, if there's anywhere near as many bounders as there were on the last delivery quest, we're going to need to be careful. So there's one to my east, one to my northeast. We have to cross a river, don't we? So we're going to hopefully be able to cross the bridge without having to do anything fancy. So the centre of town mercifully looks like it's empty. Oh no, maybe not. I spoke too soon. There's one on the move, but he is patrolling. Is he patrolling sideways? Yeah, he's going to be one of those that's going to be blocking the river. Okay. On the map, it does seem like there's a couple of crossings to the west. So let's go investigate. Now, I don't fancy my odds at jumping across there. Or is it meant to be waterfalls? That being said, there is a bounder slightly north of this waterfall as well. Is it possible to jump across? I don't know. Looks a bit ropey there, doesn't it? I mean, this looks doable. Is there anywhere better? No? Or do we reckon we can do that? No, that's going to be too far, isn't it? See, there's two bounders to the south already. It's got to be an easy way across, isn't there? Or did I need to go all the way out of East Lowbottom and go that way? I might fail this. What's this over here? This could be... I know, it's bending that way. I feel like this was possibly a mistake coming west. That being said, if I can get on that rock... Looks promising. That's an angry shrew, though. Oh well. Jump! No, you jumped! Oh god! It lags on the jump, but I haven't dropped it. It's fine. Still counts. No one saw that. Right, running up to Long Cleave then, cross country. So we crossed it, kind of near Tyfield on that bend. If you're watching this and need to know where we did it, there's probably other ways of doing it. There might even be quicker ways of doing it, so don't assume that my way is the best way. So we're in some woods now. This is the first time I've been in this direction, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Just about halfway on our timer as well. Hopefully we should be able to run direct now. So running more or less in a straight line should be good. So while we're running them, we've got one last quest, one last skill, sorry, from where we've been levelling up. So we've got Weather Blows. Just trying to keep track of where I am on the map. So this is a buffing skill. So we enter a temporary state wherein we're nearly unassailable. Nearly. This skill cannot be activated while Iron Will is active. So I don't actually have Iron Will, I don't think. So minus 5% incoming damage, which is always nice. And in brackets it says 5% base damage reduction plus 2% per metal at the time of casting, plus trait bonus from enhanced guards. So the trait bonus is probably somewhere in our trait tree. And we can potentially get up to 10% metal. So if we activate it, we're now... Actually, no, does it go up to 5? That goes up to 9. So I can potentially get 18 bonus metal. Which would be quite nice. So 18 plus the 5 is 23, plus potentially more. So for even more damage reduction. Are we... We can go down there, it's not a river, it's fine. Oh, it's a bit steep though. Break my legs at a time when I don't really want broken legs. So yeah, nice damage reduction then. Iron Will suppresses Weather Blows if both are active at the same time. So it lasts for 15 seconds. So damage reduction for 15 seconds, and it restores 35% of maximum morale. So it's your Brawler's oh shit skill basically. There's a Hobbit bounder really close to where I need to hand in this quest. Oh, actually, no, it's not the hand-in quest. Crap, where am I going? Am I in the wrong spot? It's got to be that door, but if I... Can I... Too busy to do that right now. Oh, panic. Where am I meant to go then? It's directing me to the wrong thing. Sets quest guide focus. He's back south. Crap. Oh, I'm going to time out. Damn it. He was further south. I was looking at the wrong quest ring. But he wasn't on... That was the only quest ring I had on my thing. That's a pain in the backside. Let's unlock the stable master then. But anyway, this skill...
A lovely day, isn't it?
1 minute 15 seconds on the cooldown timer. So you can activate it, but then you have to wait a minute to activate it again. Which is not too bad. Best place to get ancient scripts. I'll be honest, I don't find it too hard to get ancient scripts. I would say the best way to do it, if it will let me open it, on your reward track, on the assumption that you are playing a character that has the legendary item reward track enabled. I don't know where else you can access it on the menu, to be fair, because I've got it as a shortcut down in here. But you get loads of it just by playing the game, earning legendary item experience. It moves you along the track. You get tons of scripts along that. Otherwise, daily quests, wherever you're playing, there's loads of them in Gundabad at the minute, which give lots of ancient script rewards. So they're worth doing as well. But yeah, I tend to always be capped at them, to be fair. So I never have to go out my way to kind of get it. Granted, like when the first time that you are creating your legendary item, it will cost a ton of scripts because you need to buy, like, I don't know, where it's like about 8 different slottables on each legendary item. So it will be expensive when you create your character, but otherwise the only time you really spend scripts once you've created it is if you're upgrading some of the slotted items. So let's say if you had a purple quality item on there and you wanted to change it back to a blue one or a gold one, then you can replace that with a higher tier slottable. You still keep your progress, you don't lose your tiers. So if you spent loads of enhancement runes, you still keep the levels, which is very nice, rather than resetting you back to the start and having to level them all up again. Yes, so far I've got to say I do like the new legendary item system. Now I've actually had a chance to kind of play around with it, kind of get a feel for how it works and seeing is it better than the old system for kind of managing a legendary item and sticking to the whole concept of it's meant to grow with you as you level. Whereas before, the old items, you'd end up throwing them in the bin, having to start from scratch. Each time you got to a new tier, it was a bit of a pain in the backside. That these ones can kind of grow, and it should be easier like the next time the level cap goes up.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Just to try and keep it up to date, basically. Right. I'm considering. Can we go east? This is a bit of a dangerous way trying to thread it between two hobbits there. Go on, cross the road. You have to get off the road. Just to see if east actually leads us on a bit of a more sensible journey. I'll stick that as my quest guide focus this time, so it actually directs me to the right bloody quest place. Nope, we can't cross here either. Because that's the same bridge as before. Or can we go... No. Right. Let's just run then the way we did before, because that we know that works. It's just a bit of a long run. Has anyone in chat got any other questions you want me to answer while we're doing this boring post quest? There's going to be a lot of running involved. Oh, can't pick up the rich gold. Look at these. Look, 3 bounders. 1, 2, 3, 4 simultaneously on the map. It's much worse than the Shire post quests. We need to get kind of roughly, I think it was about there, above like the F of Tyrefield. That was where we had the rocks we could cross earlier. Another 3 bounders all lined up there. Yeah, we'll put that panic skill on its own line at the top there, just so whenever we need to look for it, we know, right, smack the button that's highest on our skill bar. Without having to worry about is that the right one. Another 2 bounders. Here we go. These are the rocks we used to cross last time. Before I accidentally fell in, but it was fine. Just a bit of a desync between the when I jumped. There we go. That time it's perfect. There we go. So from here, we want to go north, but I think we need you to get off this hill sooner and get on the road. Because they mentioned something about some stone arches or something, and then the postman's just beyond that. Whereas before we ended up kind of in the town proper. Nessie, hello Bal, good to see you good. Hello Nessie, how are you? Hope you're well as well. I've aggroed a wolf, that is not good. Anytime something hits me while I'm carrying the satchel, it will reduce my available time left, so we don't want it to touch us. There we go, he's disengaged. Right, where are we? So I think we want to go left here. At some point we need to go right of a big wall as well. No, it can't be this one then. Right. Still go north. So the only problem with doing a brand new region... There we go, up here. The only problem with doing a brand new region is I don't know all the routes between all the bits and pieces. There we go. Yeah, this is the way I came before. I remember this bit. So we're up now on top of the hills. Nessie says, any rumours on a new Lord of the Rings MMO? Yes. You're not dreaming of that. There was one that was in development, although I think the latest is that it may have been cancelled. Maybe Keepy will probably know if he's still in the chat. There was one that was originally going to be made, and probably trying to cash in on the whole Amazon Lord of the Rings TV show kind of thing. I don't know why I'm trying to mind that. But I don't know whether it got delayed or scrapped or put on ice or something, but there was definitely something more recently in the last couple of months that that was in the news that, yeah, maybe it'd been cancelled or something. There's one about Moria into the Fourth Age. Yep, I saw that announcement yesterday. Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. It's going to be made, I think it's by a new studio. I don't necessarily know who is involved in that studio, but I imagine there'll probably be some people that worked on other games that you may have heard of. But it's meant to basically be sounds like the Fourth Age, and when they go into Moria to reclaim it. So obviously we've gone into Moria originally as part of the game with the Iron Garrison, which is maybe a bit of a liberty that's been taken with the actual lore, because Moria wasn't reclaimed until much later in the Fourth Age, which is kind of hinted that we might have an expedition to go reclaim Moria proper. Whether we get to play that in game, I don't know. But without going into too much spoilers for Gundabad, kind of at the end of the quest line for that, they're kind of hinting that, you know, wouldn't it be good now we've reclaimed Gundabad if we go off and reclaim Moria properly this time? So I don't know whether they're going to do anything with that story-wise in-game, or whether that's just kind of hinting to the wider lore that Tolkien established. But yeah, that new game's going to basically be like a survival crafting type game. So probably imagine something along the lines of like Valheim, but you're having to survive in Moria and having to like craft to survive as you make your way through. I mean, it sounds interesting. We'll have to see what it's like. But there's not been much news at the minute. We've had like a logo and a description that this game's in development by whatever the name of the studio is. So we'll have to see. So there's that that's in development. There's the Gollum game, which people were initially quite excited about, but then I think recent announcements have kind of made people kind of go a bit soft on that, although I don't really know much about it. So there's those two games. I think that's it on the game front, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously there's the anime movie War of the Rohirrim, which is coming out in 2024, I think it is, which could be quite interesting as well.
Please, stay a moment.
So that's just a post quest. We don't want to do that. So where do we want to go next? I suppose if we go deliver the brews to the local pub, that's probably the best idea. I'm guessing this is it. Oh, now it says the project's cancelled. There you go then. So the MMO project has been cancelled. Didn't think I was making that up. So drink our token of gratitude for delivering the new beer. I haven't actually delivered it yet until I speak to them.
How do you do?
Good, good. You can leave those beers with me. That drink is for you. A token of thanks for making this delivery. So this is the Roaring Bull, this tavern. So again, it looks like it's going to be pretty well populated. So this was the front entrance. If you weren't watching the stream when we were in the Fox and Fiddle inside No Bottle, it was pretty well populated and pretty nicely done. So I've got a couple of lock boxes here. Got the hobbits have hung up all their cloaks, which is pretty cool. Would be nice as well if they had like somewhere to put all their walking sticks and stuff like that as well. There's loads of them just walking around chatting. So there you go, the Roaring Bull, that's its pub sign up there. Loads of books to read as well. Got a nice homely lounges as well, which is quite nice. And then back over this way, so that's not a door we can go through. Again, like some nice armchairs, nice fires. We can go down this one though. We've got the big ball behind there, so that's what gives it its name. Well, they've mounted not just the head, but like literally half of the ball. So that's a pretty interesting taxidermy project. Down in the basement then, got all manner of casks and food supplies. They're cooking something, peeling potatoes again. But I do like how the taverns are nicely populated. I think of the things I've seen in the Yondershire so far, that's what I'm most pleased with, shall we say. I think that's pretty well done. Let's bring back the UI. So where was Barfaroff? Hugo finishes his book. That's actually to the north, so we might as well do that while we're up here. So we'll lock that one in. Field to Pint for the brews. We need to go to Tyrefield and Gamwich. So we can remove that one for now. That's not particularly interesting. Tyrefield we need to go, and Tyrefield again for the other one. So let's have a look at some quests then. Blah, 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 blah. Nessie, started watching you in 7th grade. Now you're going into your 3rd year of uni. So you've been stuck with me for far too long. Or even that, I've been doing videos far too long. And I'm still not even into Rohan, so... There's so much to do in game. Don't worry, I will keep on going. Dear me, you gave me quite a shock there. I'm afraid I was completely consumed by my work. Oh yes, I'm very proud of the clothes I've sewn here. Picked up the hobby recently. The clothes are for my children and grandchildren. But trying to deliver their doorsteps has been a vexing problem. Walking up and down Longcleave takes a toll on my old legs, you see. I'd never finish the job. If you'd like to assist me, you can deliver some to them. I'll deliver the rest. So, deliver clothes to drop-offs. They're all in the town, by the looks of it. Are they all in the pub? No, they're across Longcleave. So there's drop-off spots at their doorsteps. So there's one. Oh, it's going to dismount us. Pain in the backside. So I did see one down here. It's a very noisy cow. Unless it was the tortoise making that noise. Got another quest ring over here. Oh, he's the postman. We don't care about you. But yeah, this is quite a nice town, like in the middle of the woods, at the bottom of this valley. Something different. I mean, No Bottle was probably the town that's kind of closest to being like the proper parts of the Shire. But it still kind of had its own kind of unique kind of look to it. This is obviously something brand new, being completely in the woods like this. Where are we going now? To the west. No, there's no more around here. They're further north than the quest ring is indicating. So there you go, that's number 4 and number 5. There's a couple more quest rings up here as well. Let's have a look at the reputation vendor. Why am I stuck? There we go.
Good day. How may I help you?
So we can barter for a return to no bottle skill, which would be quite nice. Or if you're a hunter or a warden, you get the guide and muster skills. We've got a couple of housing items. No idea what these look like, but if you like your housing items, you can get some bits there. Framed map of Eriador. There's all kinds of stuff. What's this? Ambient environment, Yondershire. I don't know what that would involve. If you're not familiar with the ambient environments, they can do things like fog and stuff. Some walls. Tome of the White Goose. If you like your pets, you can be chased by Goose. But other than that, mostly a load of decorations, or you can trade for 5 coins for 2 mavens, which I think is not worth it because you get mavens from bloody everywhere in Eriador, in like the mid Eriador levels, like, you know, mid-20s to like mid-40s. They drop all kinds of characters in different regions. Or you can trade 2 copper coins to get 5 mavens. So, if you needed to swap them around, I mean, you trade the mavens for the bounder coins. That would probably be more useful. What have we got up here then?
Is there something I can do for you?
So this is handing in one of our quests. Welcome to Yondershire. Make yourself at home here in Longcleave. There is much to do and see here. Have you any other business to discuss? What news have you from Nobottle? Salga Greengrass sent you to see the sights of Nobottle and claimed they were the most interesting to be seen anywhere. Well, that claim has little substance. No tour is complete without seeing what Longcleave has on offer. The village centre, the lovely gazebo and the Roaring Bull, the finest tavern in all of Yondershire.
Please, stay a moment.
Oh god, we're delivering picnic baskets now as well. While you're exploring, might I ask a favour of you? I recently took over the position of Reeve from my mother Merigot. I do not know how she ever kept up with all the requests, concerns and troubles of Yondershire. I am up to an elf's ears with things to do. If you have the time, I would bring you back... would you bring back the basket on the table to my mother? She's usually sitting by the river at this time of day / night, because it's starry. And she's certain to be famished by now. I think it's been at least 2 hours since our last meal. That's true enough for a hobbit. Okay, fine, I'll deliver your picnic basket. Actually, we don't have to carry it as well, which is a bonus. There's a great view of the village from here. Was there a reason why I had to do this? Okay, so we had to view some vistas. So yeah. Nice view down the hill.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Oh, gotta be the emotional support animal to the animals by the looks of it. I don't suppose you'd be willing to help me, would you? I don't mean to be a bother, but I'm certainly in need of assistance. You see, I think I may have said yes one time too many. A look of panic darts across Prunella's face. Do not let my example stop you from agreeing to help me. Please say yes to this urgent request, good one. Prunella breathes deeply, calming herself. The folk hereabout often bring me pets and farm animals that are no longer able to tend to for one reason or another, and I am never able to refuse them. I have tried to find good homes for as many as I can with some success, but I am still quite overwhelmed by the sheer number of creatures, lovable though they be. Will you help me feed and tend to the animals still in my care? So they're going to be all around the town, and it's telling us how to do emotes and quests. Alright, hungry chicken. Feed the hungry chicken. Fed the chicken. Hungry cat. I've probably got a couple of hungry cats downstairs in real life that I should probably feed soon as well. Right, where are we going? So, the small centre is modest for a village that seats its reeves. So essentially she's like the mayor. We've learned that she recently took over the running of the town from her mother. I don't know why her mother stopped being the reeve. Maybe she just retired or something. There's something up the top that I've clearly missed. Where are we going? Something inside. This small establishment looks cosy. There we go, I think that was it. Go back to this hobbit to tell him we've delivered all his clothes to his grandchildren or whoever it was.
Hello there.
Phew, that's enough walking for me today. You have my thanks. Now that that's out of the way, maybe I ought to start sewing clothes to my neighbours just for fun. Oh, I've got all ideas already. Don't get any more ideas because I don't want to have to deliver more of your stuff, sir. So we need to find needy animals as well as hungry animals. So needy cow, I need to give it a pat. There we go, I've comforted the cow. There's an injured tortoise, but we don't need to do anything with injured animals at the minute. Presumably that will come later. That's the postmaster over there. Needy pig. There we go, comforted the pig. So we need to find a hungry goat and comfort the needy hound. Which they all might be up here somewhere. There we go, needy hound. There we go. And now we just need to feed the hungry goat. I mean, there's loads of quest rings in that direction. Let's get back up the hill. Oh, there he is. I missed it. There we go. Talk to Prunella.
Good day.
Thank you so much for what you have done. I can breathe more easily now. Still, there are more animals that need tending. I did tell you there were a lot. Will you help me tend to some of my poor injured critters? Okay, so we know where some of these are. Okay, we've got an injured bird. At least it's going to give us the quest rings, though, so we can find them a bit easier. Right, one down here. Injured coney. Injured frog. And then the tortoise is right down the bottom. There we go. So those of you in chat that have played through Yondershire so far, what are your first thoughts of the region? I'll share my thoughts in a bit before we wrap up the session. I know some of you haven't actually played it yet. So heading back up the hill.
day.
Phew, we did it. Well, it was mostly your assistance that made this possible. I cannot promise that I will not agree to take in more animals if the need for me to do so arises, but your example has shown me that there are good-hearted folk willing to help me if I only ask. Let me count the animals again to make sure we did not miss anyone. Prunella closes her eyes and mumbles to herself for a moment, counting. The numbers you can make out seem to be very high numbers indeed. At last her eyes fly open. I think we missed someone, Silvery.
Could I take a moment of your time?
We're missing a particularly troublesome goose, on whom I usually need to keep a close eye. Needless to say, I've not had an eye to spare of late, as you can attest. Now I fear that the goose is loose and attempting to get up to mischief somewhere in the village. It's not the first time that this has happened. Take care as you go, Silvery. This goose is a tricky one. And we get a funky item. So I feel like this is a bit of a cheeky reference to the Goose game. But it probably also explains why we get the goose as part of the quest rewards. Is a goose honking inside the roaring ball? Uh-oh. Is it up to no good? Search it for the goose. It's going to be downstairs, isn't it, in the basement? Oh no, the goose escaped and left behind many spilt bottles that should be cleaned up. Damn it. Three of 8, 4 of 8. 5. I'm not actually cleaning up anything. I'm not cleaning up a spill, and I'm not picking up the broken pieces of the tankard. That's a bit irritating that one of them's hidden behind the chair like that. If you didn't have floaty names on and there's only the exact number that you need, that could be very hard to spot. I think there were spares though, so you might be lucky.
Good day.
That was the most excitement I've seen in several days, and you just missed all the fun. That goose ran in here, knocked down every bottle in its path, and ran out just as you arrived. I do appreciate you cleaning up the bottles for me. Now, good luck catching that silly goose. So we've got to leave the pub now and go find it elsewhere. The goose escaped again. No! Search Longcleaves and find out where the goose went next. So it went somewhere around here to the west. Up there, possibly. Or I think the picnic needs to go down here. Okay, look, sat out here with her blanket already, waiting for us to deliver the damn thing.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Hello, my dear Hobbit. Rosa sent you, has she? Now, she's a good girl. Here then, you can set the basket down right here beside me. She smiles and pats the spot on the blanket.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Isn't it nice to simply sit by the water and take a moment away from all the hustle and bustle? My daughter Rosa certainly could use a break. She takes too much on herself. So if you're not too busy yourself, perhaps you could do me a favour. Rosa probably already has dinner planned, but it would not hurt for me to bring something home to contribute to the fare. Would you gather some ingredients for me? Rosa loves wild strawberries. Too tart for me by far, but the girl can not get enough. I prefer hearty, nutty mushrooms. You can find the strawberries growing wild along certain paths, and the mushrooms are all over the forest bed. Also, I have to collect Jordan there as well. Cheeky bugger. Honestly, these hobbits demand too much of us, and I say that as a hobbit myself. So need 12 of each of them. Okay, so there's quite a few over to the west. Yeah, they're kind of everywhere between us and the town, basically. all these up. So no thoughts on Yondershire from anyone in the chat? I'll be wrapping up probably the stream pretty soonish because I've got things to do this evening. So probably once we do these last few quests, I'll stop for the evening for our first session. But for me, so far it's been interesting. It's been a nice change of pace. I mean, besides having more post quests to do and a lot of running around for those, it's been interesting enough. If you like the Shire, you'll probably like the Yondershire quest-wise so far, based on what we've done today. It's a bit more focused around quest hubs rather than doing odd quests that send you to completely different towns all the time. So it's a bit nicer quest flow-wise. It's a bit nicer visually, I would say. Really pleased with all the interiors of all these taverns. So we've been in a couple of these in the stream today. I like what they've done with those. I don't know what else you get as part of the quest packs. I don't know if there's any instances or anything like that involved. I don't believe there is. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Where we go? So without more stuff in there, 995 lottery points seems like it might be a little bit overpriced, even if it's pretty good for questing. And especially where you have free options as well for questing level 20 to 25. Especially if you're able to take up all the offer that they did recently, where they basically gave you everything up to the Mordor expansion for free, including Mordor and the special editions thereof. Then you're going to have pretty much everywhere in-game to quest up until like level 105, not including the recently released regions that are in older areas of the game, so Yondershire and the angle of Mythithor and the Wildwood of Breeland. So you've got those three that are new that are not included in that because they were released after Mordor, even though that they are low level regions. So they're just kind of alternate places for those that have played the game 50 million times. It's just somewhere different for you to go and quest. But it's been enjoyable so far.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Welcome back. I can smell those mushrooms from here. Perfect timing. I just finished eating and the picnic basket is empty. A perfect place for those strawberries and mushrooms. There we go. Yeah. So now take the picnic basket back. Awfully convenient. Hold on.
Hello there.
My daughter takes too much on herself. I keep telling her one of my most important rules. Many hobbits make for light work. Rosa needs to learn how to delegate her duties more. Spread around what needs doing like I do. On that note, why don't you take that basket back to her? I think having you deliver it to her will help make my point. Yeah, instead of you being doing it yourself, you bugger. Enjoying retired life, clearly. So Lost Shire Hobbit says, looks and feels like the Shire, but rougher in a way. Yeah, so that's kind of the feel they were going. It's a bit more wild. Maybe a little bit more dangerous. You know, you're out on the frontier essentially of what hobbits are used to, at least anyway. So you know the land's a bit more wild. There's more dangers from the animals or brigands. But it's nice. I do like it. Visually, it's been quite nice. I've only been to a couple of the towns so far, though. Oh, this has been attacked by the goose. Thank you for helping me up. Did you see that goose? 1 minute I'm minding my own business, taking home some fresh vegetables from the market. The next minute, this horrible goose comes along, knocks me down, and pilfers all my cabbages. You must get back my cabbages. It certainly feels like they're parodying the Goose Game. So back up to Rosalinda. Yeah, I'll reserve my judgment for once we've completed the region as to whether I feel the price point for it is suitable 995 lottery points, and I'll double check if there's any other things included in the bundle before we do our next stream as well. But normally, maybe around about like the 600-ish, 700-ish mark is normally where a lot of the quest packs were priced previously. Hello again. Thank you for returning the basket. Why, it is full of mushrooms and strawberries. How did she find the time? You pass along Merigot's words of wisdom. Ah yes, Mother was always good at getting others to help her. I do not want to burden anyone, especially when I have a daughter who is perfectly capable of assisting me.
Might I have a word with you?
Bounders on our borders, goblins in the gardens, shrews in Yondershire, and my daughter is nowhere to be found, as usual. Adamanda should have been back by now, as we had plans for dinner this evening. I have too much work to go chasing that girl down, but perhaps you could locate her. When you do, please give her this letter. She's probably off pretending to be a ranger somewhere. You should ask around and see if anyone has seen her. So we'll grab that quest. So where are we going next? Over here?
How do you do?
Adamanda? Oh, you mean Diamond? No, I'm sorry. I've not seen her for a few hours. I've had my hands full here. Yep, we know. With that bloody goose. There he is. Get him. The goose saw you coming and escaped again. I got to search the village for the goose again. Honk honk. Yes, yes. Of course, he's going to despawn, so I don't know where he goes next. Oh, there's more of them. He's building an army. Couple of these cabbages. Bit of lag here at the minute, which is affecting my inductions. Come on. There we go. We need to ask about Adamanda's whereabouts, so we need to ask Merigot again by the looks of it.
Good day.
Adamanda, no, sorry. I haven't seen my darling Diamond since second breakfast this morning. Which, given it's the middle of the night, is quite a long time. So we can return the stolen cabbages, and we can ask about more whereabouts.
How do you do?
Thank you for retrieving my cabbages, for by rescuing them you have saved me as well. How so, you ask? Well, cabbage stew is my wife's favourite meal, and I promised to make it for her, for today is our wedding anniversary. I don't think she would have believed that I was robbed by a goose, let alone 3 geese. I'm in your debt. So, job done there. And need to go back up the hill.
Hello there.
You say there were 3 geese unleashed upon my neighbours, and not simply 1 loose goose? Prunella rubs her chin. That does explain why my goose was so tricksy. It was always able to cause the most surprising amount of mischief. 3 times the normal amount, it seems. Who can say where those geese might have wandered off to now? Perhaps we'll see them again one day. Thank you for all your help. Now I should find out if the farmer that entrusted me with that goose in the first place knew the full story of that silly creature. So we can get a pocket item, which is nice. Because at the low levels you don't really get many pocket item quest rewards. I mean, notably, the one that I always remember as being a low-level quest reward is one of the quests in Esteldin in the North Downs. I think that tended to be quite fate-heavy, so less good for a melee class. But you've got three different pocket items. So one that's kind of a tanky one, mitigations and vitality. One that is more fate-based, so a bit of regen, bit of crits, that kind of stuff. And in fact, that one's actually pretty similar. So what's the difference between these two? Oh, they're identical apart from swapping the critical and the finesse around. So I'd probably go with the sleek one for myself. So bear in mind, my Darude Stone does give me enhanced XP. But otherwise, I mean, if I went for the tanky one, it would keep that tank mitigation up. Don't really mind too much. I'll probably replace it anyway. I don't really need the quest experience. I'm always ahead of the curve anyway with all the quest XP that I get at the low levels. Do we have anyone else helping us look for diamond? No, we don't. Oh, we literally have to go down to no bottle for that. Crikey. I think that's probably about where we want to stop for today. That's probably a good stopping point. So there should be about a good 6 episodes of this to be released. So at the moment, the Shire episodes that we recorded in the 5th LOTRO live stream are currently being released. So stay tuned for the rest of those. I think 2 of them are out, and they've got 3 more coming out next week. So these episodes will come out the week after next, if you've been watching them live. I've no idea how much more recording it's going to take to do the entirety of the Yondershire. Obviously today we've been questing mainly around No Bottle. We've had a couple of visits over to Tyrefield, but not picking up any quests. And we had to go back to Mickle Delving, do some quests there with a post and that, and we've done a little bit of questing up in Long Cleave. But there's, all these places over to the west, there's all these places over to the east, and we haven't really done anything down in Foxton Heath. So it's looking good for having a nice amount of content for us to do. But we'll have to see if it's going to take another 4 sessions, if it'll be the same as the Shire, be five different live streams, and how many episodes that are involved. But yeah, it's looking good so far. Initial impressions, as I say, are good. Whether it'll be worth it to pick up if you're playing for free and you don't want to have to spend real money on the game, when alternatives are available, we'll see. So thanks to everyone in the chat that has turned up today. So who we got? We've got Lost Shy Hobbit, Jake Ronald, Dominicus Bunce, Keepy, East Anglian, Lockasick, Sassy, Naz, Nessie, and anyone else that was lurking and not saying hello. So thank you for turning up. Stay tuned for whenever we record the next session. We'll see when I get around to that. I might record them all in advance, try and get them recorded early, and then I can have a break for live streams and just have to edit the videos. So the earliest that we might have a second live stream might be next weekend, but there's no urgency for me to do it. So it might be next weekend, might be the weekend after perhaps. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and if you've been watching the individual edited episodes after the fact, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the new Yondershire region. But until next time, I will see you guys later.